Hello and welcome back to the Take 3 podcast. Today I am your host, Chris Dohmen. Here with me today, I've got Kees Cornelisse and Ryan McLellan. Gentlemen, we're talking about a pretty big topic today. Would you agree?
The
Nah,
biggest in movie news, I'd say, except for maybe Star Wars.
Yeah?
yeah, it's got nothing on Star Wars, of course.
Oh, yes, very much so. Yes, as you guys can tell by the title of the video, it is the Oscar nominations have been announced. And here today, we're going to give our thoughts on the major categories and probably get into a little bit on some of the smaller ones. And I just predict a lot of cussing and getting mad because some movies that we want to get nominated weren't, and some movies that we didn't want to get nominated did. But
Passengers, Suicide
ugh,
Squad.
yeah, let's get into this. And you know what? Actually, let's start with sort of the smaller ones, and then we'll get to the bigger ones later on.
Ramp up. We'll ramp it up.
Exactly. So first one I personally want to start with is best writing for original screenplay. So we've got Hell or High Water, La La Land, The Lobster, Manchester by the Sea, and 20th Century Women. Ryan, you want to start us off on this one?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, not too surprised by what ended up in this category. I think all of them I had predicted except for The Lobster, but I'm not even mad. Not even mad that The Lobster squeezed in there because it was a really good movie, I thought, and I can appreciate the weirdness of the story and the creativity of it, and I'm all for creative storytelling that's well done because sometimes you have creative storytelling that sucks, like Jupiter Ascending, and then sometimes you have creative storytelling that really hits home and kind of it transported me to another world. So I appreciated that for such a small film. But yeah, La La Land, so happy to see Damien Chazelle again getting a writing nomination, and then Hell or High Water is a big one for me because I think that's one of the more original screenplays that we ended up with. So yeah, definitely satisfied with what this category ended up with.
And Case, what about you?
Yeah, I completely disagree on The Lobster because for me that was my most overrated movie of last year. So I'm not happy.
Overrated? Nobody's even seen it. How could it be overrated? Nobody knows what it is.
The people that have seen it, a lot of people that I know that have seen it really like the movie, and I was like, okay, I guess I have to see it. And then I saw it, and I was like, what is this shit? I didn't like it. So I was really upset that The Lobster made it and Zootopia did not, because I think that Zootopia was vastly better, but that's just my opinion on it. I've not seen 20th Century Woman or Manchester by the Sea, so I can't really be a judge of that. But yeah, that's all I can say.
That's fair. I mean, the only one of these films I haven't seen yet is 20th Century Women. I have finally seen Manchester by the Sea, and I gotta say, of the four I have seen, I'm not surprised because, look, say what you will about the execution of The Lobster, but by God, on paper, I would love to be a fly on the wall when the script was being written because this is just it's right up my alley of weird. It's perfectly weird. Now, if you're asking me who do I think is gonna win, it's La La Land. Damien's gonna win
Yeah,
it hands
I
down.
hope so. I hope so.
even though I hold out hope for Hello High Water.
As do I.
Yeah, but
But this is, as I'm sure we'll say many times throughout this podcast, this is gonna be La La Land's year.
yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Oscars this year is La La Land's to lose, basically, because
or
if they lose
the
something, it'll be surprising.
Yeah. So now we go to writing for adapted screenplay, and the nominees are Arrival, Fences, Hidden Figures, Lion, and Moonlight. Case, is there a super obvious one that we're missing?
Yeah, I honestly think, well, the thing is, I've only seen one of these movies, so I cannot say anything else about the other four, but I think Arrival should be definitely nominated because that was an extremely well written movie. But I think Deadpool is a definite snub here. Deadpool was fantastically written and should have been nominated, in my opinion. And we were in a podcast recently where a lot of us said that Deadpool should have been nominated, and it didn't make it. And I think that is a big snub. But yeah, that's just my opinion. And maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I was really hoping that Deadpool got some nominations, and it ended up with none. And then you get some movie like Suicide Squad that does get a nomination, and I'm like, really, Academy? Are we at that point that we're nominating movies over good ones? Like, that's just stupid.
Ryan, your thoughts?
On a trying to think of like the most polite way to say this, I'll just say I'm not surprised at all that Deadpool was not nominated. I didn't think it was going to get nominated in a million years. I didn't care for it to. I haven't seen any of them, just like Case. None of these came anywhere near me except for Arrival, which I saw and I thought was really well adapted from the original source material. But yeah, as far as these other ones, I can't say. But I'm not surprised Deadpool didn't get anything. And as someone who likes the movie a lot, but doesn't think it necessarily adapted very well from the original material, I don't think that it needs. I love Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. I love what they did with Zombieland, and I think they've got a great writing future ahead of them. But I don't necessarily think Deadpool is the one that they should have been nominated for. So I'm not surprised at all.
No, and that I understand your point, but I am totally in agreement with Case though in terms of how the film itself was written, regardless of the adaptation process. It was stupid clever. It was so clever how it was written, in my opinion. But I'm glad to see Fences got in there. I'm glad to see Hidden Figures got in there. Lion I still haven't seen. Moonlight, good Jesus, thank God that is getting a bunch of nominations too, because that was it was an experience.
So good?
Yeah.
An experience. All right.
Okay.
I have to see these. As soon as they come out in like 1 month or so.
Well, as I say, as soon as Holland's film release schedule stops screwing you over, then yeah.
Yeah. Hey, at least we get the Marvel movies a week early. That's something.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so now we come over to Best Visual Effects. This is one for me that I'm really excited about because you got all over the board here. You got Deepwater Horizon, Doctor Strange, The Jungle Book, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Rogue One. Okay, are we all in agreement saying that Rogue One deserved its nomination?
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But do we all think it deserves the win?
I say yes.
I say yes too, but I will not at all be surprised if the Jungle Book wins it.
Same here.
That's actually kind of where I'm sitting. Even though
I personally think Rogue One should win it, but the Jungle Book also has amazing visuals, and it's the popularity vote at this point. So I think that the Jungle Book will win it.
For me, yeah, it's either it's actually a three-way race between Rogue One, Jungle Book, and actually Kubo and the Two Strings. In terms of just the visual, what the visuals did to add to the story in Kubo, oh my God, it blew me away. So
the thing that I think is, I was just gonna say, I think the thing that's really it's going to come down to though is that this is voted on by visual effects artists in the industry, and it depends on how. I mean, I feel like a lot of them look at it more practically, or at least I feel like they have in the past. So I feel like while Kubo may have looked amazing, I just don't know if that's really something that they're going to pay as much attention to as something that's very technically proficient. Rogue One, which I think will win, to be honest, and Jungle Book, which I won't be shocked, but I will be maybe a little bit surprised, just because yes, the visuals are amazing in that, but I honestly think that what they did with Tarkin and Leia is just so out there and so attention grabbing that the Academy is gonna kind of grab onto that and say, yeah, this movie right here is what should be winning this Academy Award.
Oh my god, I just had a thought. If let's say for that achievement that Rogue One does win visual effects, how much do you think Disney will be kicking themselves in the ass for their comments about digital Leia in Episode 9?
Zero. I think zero. I don't think it has anything to do with, like technical, anything like that. I think they honestly just either A, this is my hunch, she dies in 8. That's what I think. And they just don't want to spoil that. Or B, the alternative is they really just don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or step on any toes. And so they don't want to do any visual effects. I don't think Disney is really like gunning for any Academy Awards with their Star Wars films.
No, they're not gunning for it, but if you accidentally get one and then you actually see, hey, we tried something and it worked and it got praise for it, yeah, I think they may want to reconsider in that case, especially because I already, and probably some others as well, think that it should probably get, they should probably just do CGI Leia on Episode 9.
Wow.
So that's what
No,
I wouldn't hate it, but it's not my
that's
first
actually
choice.
very fair. That's very fair in my opinion. Okay. So now, still being in technicals land, we come to another big category for me personally. Sound mixing. We have Arrival, Hacksaw Ridge, La La Land, Rogue One, and for me this is a big surprise, 13 hours. Holy crap. The best Michael Bay film ever made, and it's Oscar nominated.
I'm actually not that surprised by it, just because when you watch it and the gunfights, I mean, it drags you in and you feel exhausted by the end of this film. You feel like you've just been bombarded by actual, like, you've been there and you just like listening to it the whole time, and your ears, like, there's almost a fatigue to your ears. So I just thought that they did it. And then you get the quiet moments as well. And I feel like they did a good job of balancing that. It wasn't like one moment it's quiet and then the next it's like, oh my gosh. Cause you get movies like that sometimes where you're just like, oh, that one scene, it just went from too quiet to too loud too quickly. And I didn't get that at all. So I'm not necessarily shocked, but I don't think it's going to win, but I'm not shocked.
I would say, can we all agree that this is going to go to either La La Land or Rogue One?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My money is on Rogue One, just because it's always been a sound effects game for Star Wars movies. They've always been top of the game as far as that goes.
And actually, I'd say throw in Hacksaw Ridge as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't notice it as much there, but that makes sense.
Well, actually, that's a great segue, because in sound editing, Hacksaw Ridge is also nominated, where I think that is where it should win. Also up against La La Land again, Sully, Deepwater Horizon, and Arrival.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Sully's doing on there, but hey, I'm not a sound editing guy, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I saw it, like, that was actually one of the things that impressed me the least. The visuals, great. The sound, I mean, it was good, but
To be honest, not even the visuals. I didn't think the visuals were all that great in Sully.
Well,
I thought the acting was good, the directing was good.
Yeah.
I also don't think the sound was that great, and I'm shocked that Rogue One didn't get it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that is really interesting.
I will say, just for that third act alone, I mean, Jesus.
Exactly.
Maybe they're just tired of nominating Star Wars movies for that category.
Well, the thing is, Star Wars usually does a very good job at technical things. Even though the
Right.
prequels suck, they got nominated for all the technical things.
Because technically they were really well done.
Yeah.
That was the only really good part for some of us.
Yes.
I can never let it slip by.
Nope. I know.
We're in the majority here, Ryan. So
For once.
Majority rules.
Okay. With all due respect to the short film categories, I can safely say none of us saw any of these.
I saw Piper.
Oh yeah, that's
the
right. I
animated
did see
short film.
Piper. So
Which, can I just say for a second, that blew me away how incredible that looked. The depth of field in that short film was incredible. I've never seen animation have that good depth of field. I don't know. English. It's my first language, and I don't even know it. No, I do know it, but I just stumbled. But seriously, the depth of fear just.
You speak it.
I do, but sometimes.
Yeah. No, Piper was indeed a very good one, so I'd like to see that win, but I've already seen people that say it's not going to, which kind of sucks.
Really?
Huh. Interesting.
Well,
Okay.
one of those other ones could be amazing, and we just don't know.
True. I mean, maybe as we get closer, I'll check out maybe a couple of them, but I know I won't have time.
Well, hey, you'll be done in a very short time, I'd say.
That's true. All right. And now we come to production design for the 5 films. Here we got our Passengers, Hail Caesar, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Arrival, and La La Land.
Now, before Case says anything, I understand that Passengers, Hail Caesar, and in your opinion, Fantastic Beasts may not be the best movies overall, but the production design in all of those is actually really well done. Most especially Hail Caesar and Fantastic Beasts.
Yes.
Fantastic Beasts, I felt like I was in a magical world in the 20s.
Yes.
And I freaking loved the look of that movie. So I would like just the sets and everything that was there and present, and it felt very lived in and real, where maybe some other Harry Potter movies I didn't get that feeling as much. So I wouldn't be surprised, though. I think it's probably going to end up with La La Land. So
yeah, no, I mean, and look, between Hail Caesar and La La Land, I mean, La La Land is going to win between those two easily because it was the better love letter to Hollywood. But I actually would not be surprised if Arrival takes this one home. Simply because you want to talk about like trying to convince your audience that you are on an actual alien spaceship. You couldn't have done a better job. Case, got any wrap-up thoughts before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I think in terms of production design, Passengers, what the hell are you doing there? And where's Rogue One? Seriously, I think I think Rogue One is a big snub here.
You know what? No, I'll give you that. It's definitely a snub in terms of
it shouldn't win, but nomination.
Yeah, that I completely agree with. And can we agree to say drop Passengers and put in Star Trek Beyond?
I can agree with that, but I'd rather have Rogue One.
But Case, to be fair, you think that every category that doesn't have Rogue One is a snub. So
no, just the technical awards like this one.
Well, you know what? Speaking of Star Trek, I'm glad to see that we finally have a Star Trek film get nominated for an Oscar, where I think it actually has a shot to win in makeup and hairstyling, where its only competition this year is A Man Called Ove and a little crap fest known as Suicide Squad. Can someone please properly explain to me how in 7 Layers of Hell this movie got nominated?
It's makeup and hairstyling, and if you look at the job that they did with makeup and hairstyling and Suicide Squad, just that alone, not the rest of the movie.
I know,
they did
but
a very good job at makeup and hairstyling, because the way that they made Harley Quinn and Joker look, that was really good. The rest of the movie is very debatable, of course, but this is one aspect that they really did well. However, I really think and hope that Star Trek Beyond wins it.
Yeah, I mean, probably, in my opinion, for Kroll and Jayla alone, it should get it.
Yeah.
Star Trek Beyond should win it, but I hope that Suicide Squad wins it, just so that everyone's salty and cries me a bunch of tears that I can use to water my plants.
You sick son of a bitch.
I mean, we ended the drought in California, but let's just make sure that it doesn't come back.
Some men just want to see the world burn.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yes. Good Lord. Okay, well, we're going to go now up to film editing. Oh, man.
La La Land.
We got some tough ones here, though, because it's not just them. We also have Hell or High Water, Hacksaw Ridge, Moonlight, and Arrival. Good Jesus.
La La Land.
This is really tough.
This is really tough. Because I want to just give it to La La Land straight off the bat, but then I start to think back on Hell or High Water, and I think back on Arrival, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, really well edited movies.
I
I
mean,
won't say Hacksaw Ridge. I don't think that was as well edited as the other ones, and I haven't seen Moonlight, but Arrival and Hell or High Water are really well edited as well. But yeah, La La Land is
It's almost a guaranteed win, but still.
I wouldn't be unhappy if Arrival or Hell or High Water won it.
I mean,
What do you
the way I see it is, I haven't seen Moonlight, but the other four, I understand why they're in here. Hacksaw Ridge, I don't think it's going to win, nor does it really need to. Arrival, I thought was well enough done, but it didn't stand out to me as well as the other two. But yes, La La Land, as I was watching the movie, I was like, wow, this editing really impressed me because it seemed very tight and it followed the action and the story well. And I thought that it was edited to impress me visually. And also the same thing for Hell or High Water, for which for such a small scale film, it was incredible to watch on the big screen because it felt like such a linear progression, and I think you can attribute a lot of that to the editing. So yeah, I'd say either of those. I can't predict which. I would guess La La Land just because of the type of movie that it is, but I would not complain if it was Hell or High Water.
Yeah, me neither. All right. We go up to costume design. Again, we got some really good ones in here. We have Allied, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Florence Foster Jenkins, Jackie, and of course, La La Land. And again, for me, this is tough.
I think it comes down to Fantastic Beasts and La La Land. Now, from what I can tell, Jackie and Allied had a lot of cool period clothing as well. But Fantastic Beasts is Colleen Atwood, and she's had some success with her nominations before. And La La Land, I don't recognize this young lady's name, but just based off of the use of color in clothing in the film, I was very impressed by it. And it felt like a tool of its own when you have Emma Stone and her friends in the film, when all their colorful dresses and the dancing that was involved, and then later with different things that Sebastian wears in the film. So it impressed me as I was watching it, and then when I saw it get nominated, I had forgotten about it, and it kind of reminded me like, oh yeah, wow, that actually was really well done in the movie because the use of color in the clothing, it was part of the movie. It just felt natural.
Case? Disappointed by the lack of Rogue One?
No. Well, I haven't seen Florence Foster Jenkins, Allied, or Jackie, so I can't really say anything about them. And even though I really strongly dislike Fantastic Beasts, the costume design was good. And like it got nominated for 2 categories that it did well in the movie. And I'm gonna say La La Land wins, but I'm really unsure in this category. It's also a category like I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to costume design, to be honest. So let's just move on.
Fair enough. Okay, and our last technical category, which again, really don't know where this could go. Cinematography.
Arrival.
Well, you think that, but then you also take into consideration again, La La Land, Silence, Moonlight, and Lion. The only film, again, I haven't seen on this list is Lion, but good Jesus, Silence is gorgeous. La La Land, Arrival, and Silence all sort of do the same thing perfectly, which is, have that range of doing the big, epic, sweeping shots, but then also having those really close, intimate moments and knowing how to capture them perfectly. If I had to say one, I would give it to Bradford Young because, that's just more hype for the Han Solo film. But it's true.
Hey, absolutely. If you have an Oscar-winning cinematographer on your Han Solo film, that's not going to go unnoticed. So, but I think, it's a 2-horse race between Arrival and La La Land. Again, for the just the way the camera was used in La La Land. A lot of the shots that they set up were very carefully thought out, I felt like, in order to imitate musicals of the 50s and 40s. But then you have just the absolute incredible scenery and wide landscape shots in Arrival that are so well complemented by the close shots and some of those flashback scenes too. I was really well impressed with how well put together they were. So, because usually flashback scenes bore the crap out of me, but they didn't in that movie. So yeah, I attribute an amount of that to the incredible cinematography.
Oh, totally fair. And hell, with La La Land, like, I guess the other thing for me is like something that I think makes a great musical in terms of the cinematography is if the camera itself feels like a dancer.
Yeah,
because
that's actually
it has to nail the choreography just as much as the actors do, and when it does, it's so perfect. That's why, you know what? Screw it. I'll say Chicago did, earn its Best Picture win because the
heck yeah,
camera
it did.
was just as much the dancer as Catherine Zeta-Jones or Renee Zellweger. So
Some of the shots in that movie are so beautiful.
yes. Okay, now we're out of technicals. Now it's time for the big guns. Best animated feature film. I feel like we're all gonna have a different answer for this one. So the nominees are Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Zucchini, which I never saw, The Red Turtle, which I actually do want to see, and Zootopia. Case, do I even have to ask which one you think is gonna win?
Well, for me, it's really hard between Kubo and the Two Strings and Zootopia. I think either of them can win. I will also say that I'm a little surprised Finding Dory isn't in there because it's a Pixar movie. It was well received and it didn't get the nomination. And I actually really agree with it because I didn't think Finding Dory was all that great. I thought Piper was a lot better at the beginning, and Finding Dory, it was just a good movie, but not a great Pixar movie. So I'm actually happy that it's not in there. But yeah, between Zootopia and Kubo, I don't really know what is going to win. My gut says Zootopia, but I don't know.
Fair enough. Ryan.
Yeah, I couldn't say either way. I've actually only seen Zootopia out of this list. I just didn't make it out to very many animated movies this year, although I really did want to see Kubo and Moana. Just other things ended up getting in the way. But Zootopia, which I did see, I enjoyed a lot. And just based off of the fact that everybody seemed to love it more universally than I think the other ones. And also, I think even if you say, oh, well, everybody liked Kubo, I still think that Zootopia got a lot more attention for what it was about and what the message was. And also, it was a damn funny movie. And it was a really cool world just for something that I feel like we get so often, which is, oh, animals can talk and they have their own cool world and Secret Life of Pets, but better. Like Secret Life of Pets, but actually good. So I think that's basically where the money is. And yeah, I haven't seen Red Turtle, although I've heard it's really good and it looks cool to me. I'm totally down to see it. And then this My Life as a Zucchini, I literally just heard about it like a day ago, so I didn't even know it existed until I saw something about it on the internet. But I'm sure it's great if it got nominated.
Yeah, if you took out Kubo, it would be a toss up between either Moana or Zootopia, but because for what those films, both were about and what they did, great films, but in terms of the accomplishment and the animation style, damn it, I have to go Kubo. Because that just impressed me more on an animation level. It impressed me more on in terms of the color palette used. I loved how bright and colorful yet dark and harsh it could be at times. It just, ugh.
It was a straight up horror movie at times.
It was. It was just like one of those '80s family films, and I think for nostalgia's sake I missed that, but it was damn good, and so I have to reluctantly hand it that. Okay, now we come over to music. Coming down to Best Original Score. Again, I don't know why in the hell Passengers is on here, but it's nominated. Also, Moonlight, Lion, Jackie, and La La Land. Gee, I wonder which one we're all going to say is going to win. Passengers, totally.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about that, though, is Thomas Newman has actually done well in the past, and I gave a listen to snippets of each of these just because music, Best Original Score is always one of my favorite categories, to be honest, because I'm a music junkie. But I gave a listen to all of them. Passengers actually wasn't horrible. Thomas Newman's been good in the past, so would I be shocked? Kind of, yeah. But, I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world to me. But I think that the lock is La La Land just because, and I hope it is too, because Justin Hurwitz should have gotten it, I think, for Whiplash. I'm also very, 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 very biased towards jazz because I love jazz. But what he did with La La Land just was Whiplash, but on a different level and almost to the next level. So, I mean, again, what I heard from the Moonlight score, the snippets that I listened to, it all seemed fine and dandy, but it's not La La Land, so yeah.
Yeah, for me, I've seen Passengers. I know the score. You're never gonna tell me in a million years that Passengers' score is better than Rogue One's or Doctor Strange or whatever. It's just not. So this is complete bullshit in my opinion. La La Land will win, and just fuck it.
If I actually may kind of like go back on, you actually bring up a good point that I think, albeit its mistakes here and there, the Rogue One score deserved to be on here for Your Father Would Be Proud and Hope alone. Those two songs alone, it deserved to be nominated. So yeah, actually, I really wish that they took either Lion or Passengers off and made way for Rogue One, but oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Okay, and now we come to, oh man, I don't even know how to go about this one. Best Original Song. So we have City of Stars and
La La Land or La La Land.
exactly, because well, how Far I'll Go is a great song from Moana, and
Not gonna win.
Not gonna win. I like Can't Stop the Feeling from Trolls, but it's not gonna win.
No.
Empty Chair, I haven't heard that song yet, but I'm sure it's fine. But damn it. City of Stars or Audition? Case, which one do you think is going to take it?
I personally like City of Stars more. That song I kept singing, or just it stuck in my head a few days after I saw the movie. I have to re-listen to. I have to just listen to the audition again to make sure what I think about that. But as of right now, I'll say City of Stars.
Ryan?
Again, music junkie, so I listened to all of these songs just to make sure, because some of them I hadn't heard, like The Empty Chair and Can't Stop the Feeling. Number one, I wouldn't underestimate Hollywood's obsession with Lin-Manuel Miranda right now. So there's that. I'm not saying that's going to necessarily sway anything, but I do think he's going to win one in the next couple years for sure. If not this, then something else, because he's just attached to so many projects at this point. Number two, it's definitely going to be one of the La La Land songs. They're both so incredible, and I actually just really love the music from that film. Number three, I think it's going to be Audition. City of Stars is a little catchier, but the simplicity and the emotion of Audition, for me, and I think also for the Academy, put it over the edge. So yeah, I'm predicting Audition to win this one.
I was to say, for similar reasons, I'm actually probably going to give it to Audition myself. Here's the thing, is that, Let It Go won Best Original Song at the 2014 Academy Awards because
well-deserved.
Well-deserved, and because it's a very simple song. Like, people of any age can sing it. Yeah. So, yeah, and Hollywood loves its simplicity, so I'm giving it to Audition, but by, like, that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can anyone else agree with me and say that I'm kind of pissed that Drive It Like You Stole It was not nominated for Best Original
Oh
Song.
my God, yes. Why the seriously, this is what's wrong with the Academy. Like, Sing Street is a good movie, and they got no nominations. The music is fantastic. The songs are great. Drive It Like You Stole It is one of the best of this year, and it didn't get nominated. Well, you, Academy.
Oh, I am
Sorry, that was my little rant on that.
Hashtag Cheryl Boone Isaacs.
Like what?
Hashtag Oscars hate Sing Street.
Yeah.
There you go.
But hey, Case, I told you that Sing Street wasn't gonna get it just because it went too under the radar. Again, the movie was too overhyped for me. I still really, really like it. If I didn't get told that it was like the greatest movie of all time, I probably would have liked it more. But it wasn't the greatest movie of all time, so it let me down. I mean, that was my own fault for letting my expectations get that high. But yes, Drive It Like You Stole It was a very good song, but it was also, for lack of a better term, it was a rock song. And I am just 0% surprised that it didn't get nominated.
Yeah.
Ryan, why do you have to spoil our fun?
Hey, I'm just being the realist that I always am.
Should be okay. Nope, that's. Now we come to, man. Oof. I feel like we're gonna have some debates in this one. Actress in a supporting role. We have Viola Davis for Fences, Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Nicole Kidman for Lion, Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, and Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea. Oh, man. It sucks I've only seen 3 of these films. Because
I've seen none of them. I've seen none of these movies, but I predicted all 5 correctly for some reason.
You did. You did.
Yeah. Because I have not really seen a whole lot of supporting actresses this year, and all these 5 appear to be great, appear to have a lock on the nomination, and they can all win it. So I don't really have an opinion in this case. It's like 5 movies that I have not seen, so I can't tell anything about.
Yeah. I do feel like Lucy Boynton for Sing Street was snubbed badly, but
Just a little.
You know,
I didn't think that Sing Street got snubbed at all. I wasn't surprised. Not that I'm saying it wasn't good, but I just didn't think that it was going to be perceived to be on the level of any of this. I'm not saying, again, Lucy Boynton was fine and dandy and what have you, and she did well with what she was given. But I think that this is Naomi Harris's award to lose, just because she's been really good in the past, and I think Hollywood has had their eye on her for a while. And I think that Barry Jenkins is a really good director, and I think he directed her to the performance that deserves to win in this category. So, yeah. But to be fair, I haven't seen all of these movies, so, I mean, it could just be any of the Nicole Kidman, I really hope it's not her, though. I didn't see Lion, but really, you're going to say Nicole Kidman over Naomi Harris? That would just make me mad, so, yeah.
I have heard people say that Nicole Kidman is one of the really a favorite to win this one, because apparently she gives a very good performance. Just what I heard.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I heard that as well, but yeah, it's going to be either Michelle or Naomi for me.
I agree.
Because, you know, you want a performance that will rip your heart out. I mean, Jesus Christ, Manchester by the Sea, just, oh, good Lord, you truly do feel her. Like, she doesn't feel like a character; she feels like a real person. And I could argue very much the same thing for Naomi Harris, which, obviously, you know, based on a real person, but still, it just, oh, damn it.
So you could see it going either way, then.
Either way.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Octavia and Viola, I feel like they sort of cancel each other out.
Yeah. Well, and the thing too with Viola is she's gotten an award for this role before, just it was on stage, correct me if I'm wrong. So it's like all she really did was do the same thing, just this time there was a camera.
Pretty much.
That's how I perceive Fences. Again, I haven't seen it, but it just, I mean, I've watched interviews with the cast and the director Denzel, and he's like, yeah, it's basically the same thing. I just changed a couple lines. I was like, well, and they went upstairs. So it's like, instead of keeping it in the backyard, they went inside the house. I was like, okay, so it's basically the same thing that you already won awards for. I mean, maybe that just means that they'll get more awards because it was already so good in the first place, and maybe that changing things would have just ruined it. But I think that they're going to be more drawn to something new and something fresh, and neither Michelle Williams, who I've been a fan of for a while, or Naomi Harris, who I've been a fan of more recently.
Okay. All right. Now we come to Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Oh, man. Mahershala Ali for Moonlight. Jeff Bridges, Hell or High Water. Lucas Hedges, Manchester by the Sea. Dev Patel for Lion. And Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals. God damn it, he could not get nominated for Midnight Special. Damn you, Academy. But
Hey, look, if they give him the one for this one, then it's kind of like also for Midnight Special.
sort
Yeah,
of.
basically.
It'll be my consolation prize.
They honestly, they just nominated him for the one that was less commercial. Like, that's why. Like, if Midnight Special had been the one that was like darker and like more emotional and more Oscars-y, then they would have done it. I guarantee you, it's just like, oh well, we gotta preserve the way the
I'm
Oscars
also
are.
happy. I'm also happy that even though Aaron Taylor Johnson won the Golden Globe for Nocturnal Animals, that they did Michael Shannon in this case.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
But as far as this goes, like, it's, again, Mahershala Ali. I think he's going to totally win this thing. Dev Patel, great freaking actor, but I don't know why he's on here. Again, I haven't seen Lion, but I did not hear that many good things about Lion. Like, I'm surprised that it got any nominations whatsoever, because everything I heard was like, oh yeah, it's good. But I guess I probably heard it from the wrong people. And then as far as Jeff Bridges go, Jeff Bridges, I love you. You're the dude. You were great in True Grit, and you made that movie awesome. But I don't know why you are on here instead of Ben Foster. Ben Foster has been the whipping dog of Hollywood for years. I'm not sure why nobody pays any attention to him. Poor guy puts his heart and soul into every single performance, whether it's in a good movie or not. And Hollywood continues to just shun him and say, nobody cares about you, Ben Foster. When it's not true, I care about him. So it's like, can he please just get the nomination? Jeff Bridges has been here before. I don't care enough to look up and see if he's won anything before, but
he won for Crazy Heart.
All right, there you go. Crazy Heart, great. Congratulations. Now give Ben Foster something, please. Even if he doesn't win it, just get the guy. The poor guy just doesn't even have a nomination. I mean, come on. This guy is the only, not the only, but he is my favorite part. As like Chris Pine shocked the hell out of me with Hell or High Water, but and I actually had him as a unrealistic hopeful in Best Actor, but for Best Supporting Actor, how can you put that's an insult to Ben Foster. If I were Ben Foster, he's a nice guy, so he's probably fine with it. But if I were him, I would be insulted that you nominated stupid Jeff Bridges, which, again, he did a great job. Nothing against him, except for the fact that it was him instead of Ben Foster. So, F you, Jeff Bridges. Go away for once. Jeez. Poor Ben.
Wow. You know, it's kind of funny. We've all gotten our turn to rant now.
Yeah, seriously. And I've been waiting to make that rant too, because that was my only snub really that I actually cared about.
No, and that's a very fair snub. I mean, look, obviously, no, Mahershala is gonna take this year. Yeah. There's no
and
contest.
He well deserved too.
Well deserved. I mean, Jesus, like I was glued to him the whole entire time when I saw the movie. But God damn it, yes, you're right. Ben should have gotten the nomination.
I know I'm right.
Yeah,
which isn't very often, mind you, but
you're right in this situation.
Okay. Well, yeah. With that, now we come to Best Actress in a Leading Role. Up first, Isabelle Huppert for Elle, Ruth Negga for Loving, Natalie Portman for Jackie, Emma Stone for La La Land, and Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins. Look, we get it. I've only seen a little bit of Florence Foster Jenkins. I liked it. I liked that bit I saw. She was good. And I haven't seen the whole thing, so I can imagine she gives a powerhouse performance. But God damn it, can we just not nominate her and put someone else in there instead?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're absolutely right. And I've seen the first 30 seconds of, or I guess it's probably 5 seconds that's required on YouTube. So I saw the first 5 seconds of the trailer for Florence Foster Jenkins, and I skipped it because I was like, wow, that looks really lame. And I don't know if it's good or bad or what have you, but I don't care if Meryl Streep turns in the best performance of her career. She's fine. She's great. She's good. She's golden. Like, literally,
record.
yeah, seriously. And she gets nominated every year. And so you're going to put her over Amy Adams? Are you shitting me? Like, I thought Amy Adams deserved an Oscar for damn Night at the Museum too. Like, seriously, I'm not even, you think I'm kidding, but I'm not. Because, no, but seriously, though, she's really good in everything she does, whether the movie sucks or not. I mean, American Hustle, the movie sucked, but she turned in a solid ass performance. And it's like, why are you so set on giving Meryl an Oscar for every movie that she does? Like, for what was that? Into the Woods. Like, why? There's no reason. But all that being said, before I get into another stupid rant, Emma Stone or Natalie Portman, my preference would be Emma, just because she doesn't have one, and where Natalie does. And also, I just thought that she turned in the performance of her career, and I felt like she got snubbed with Birdman. So yeah.
I will say, well, actually, wait, well, hold on. First off, which Amy Adams performance are we going with?
Arrival.
Arrival for you too, Ryan?
Yes. Yeah, just because it was I haven't seen all of Nocturnal Animals because of reasons, but what I did see didn't impress me as much as what I saw on Arrival.
Gotcha. I see it's coming down to either Ruth Negga or Emma Stone, because obviously, yes, Emma Stone snubbed for Birdman, but if we're talking strictly performance of the character given and what they were able to do with it, I feel like if you nominate Ruth Negga and not give her the win, I feel like pretty much everyone's gonna call Hollywood a bunch of racists, like they always do anyway.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, Emma Stone has every right to win. But here's the thing: I also don't predict Ryan Gosling winning. And I feel like,
well, that's a different story, though. That's a different category.
But hold on, let me just quick finish. What the reason that why I think that's kind of important is I feel like it's gonna be a case of if one wins, then the other one wins, and if one loses, then the other one's also gonna lose. You know, I feel like, you know, because I heard that point on Movie Talk today, and I'm like, no, that makes sense. How, you know, the Academy's gonna sort of view them together as sort of like the symbiotic, self-sustaining wheel. Whether it garners enough steam for them both to win, that's gonna be the thing. So we'll have to see.
I can see that. I can see that.
I kind of also can see that, but even though I think regardless if Gosling wins or not, Emma Stone has to win this. Otherwise, I agree with Ryan, Natalie Portman. I've not seen Jackie, but I've heard so many good things. Like she just gave a Black Swan performance and she won an Oscar for that. So yeah, like when Portman is good, she is really good. So I won't be surprised if either one of those won. And yeah, it's fucking Meryl Streep. We get it. It's her 20th fucking nomination. Just get the fuck out of here, you stupid fucking Academy. I'm so done with it.
That's like nominating her just to nominate her, and nobody like, appreciates it anymore.
Oh, you need 20. Okay, we'll give you 20. But look, here's the thing. Amy Adams still has not won an Academy Award, while Meryl Streep has 3.
Right.
Christ.
I mean, if it was something like so groundbreaking, then maybe. But I just feel like Into the Woods was not groundbreaking.
It's just another good Meryl Streep performance. We have seen that 20 times.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, man.
Move on.
Yeah, so that's the end of that category.
Yep. We'll come down to, in my opinion, one of the big three, Best Actor in a Leading Role, which you got Denzel Washington for Fences, Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge, Ryan Gosling for La La Land, and in my opinion, the winner, Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea.
In everyone's opinion, the winner.
Dude, I thought I was overhyped going in to see that movie, but then, god damn it. Sold. He's winning. I give up.
Yeah, I mean, with this category, like Denzel is always a solid choice. He has the ability that few actors have, where he can make a bad movie watchable. So that's always cool. But I think it's easy for him to get overlooked in this year. And then you have Viggo Mortensen. Didn't see Captain Fantastic. Not really sure why he ended up on here. I always like seeing his name around because I feel like he never really is in much. But yeah, he has no chance. Ryan Gosling did really well, but again, yeah, absolutely, Lord of the Rings. But what else really? So it's like, but anyway, yeah, Ryan Gosling, he did really well, and he's one of my favorite younger actors, but he's going to get overshadowed easily. Andrew Garfield was fine in Hacksaw Ridge, but it wasn't like career defining. However, Casey Affleck, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I've wanted him to win ever since the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. And I just feel like he's certainly the better Affleck as far as acting goes. And I feel like he always puts 110%, and I feel like he taps into the emotion of his character way better. Heck, his small character in the Ocean's movies, I bought into way more than any of Ben Affleck's performances ever, including Argo, which I think is his best directed film. But I mean, he was not the draw of Argo, you know. So I think Casey, if he doesn't win this, I'll be actually pretty angry. So yeah.
I'd actually say that Ben Affleck's best performance was in another movie of 2016, which was The Accountant. Even though the movie was a little split, I think that was Ben Affleck's best performance. And I do think that overall, Ben Affleck has had better performances. But Casey Affleck, when he does lock into a role, then he is this good.
Yeah. And this... I'm gonna call it right now. This is his career-defining performance, and he should get nominated for it. I mean, should win for it. Like this is his Bridge on the River Kwai, you know, which Alec Guinness won best actor for. So yeah, I
think we all see it as a lock for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay, we come to the second one of the big three. That is director. We've got Denis Villeneuve for Arrival, Mel Gibson for Hacksaw Ridge, Damien Chazelle for La La Land, Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by the Sea, and Barry Jenkins for Moonlight. Oh, jeez.
Hey, can I just say that I predicted this category 100%?
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, because when you look at the directors, it's just it was too easy. I mean, you look at Kenneth Lonergan, he did really well, but I don't think he was really I don't see him winning it. And Denis Villeneuve, although I love him, I don't think he's gonna win for Arrival because I personally don't think it's his best film. But because I'm a huge Prisoners fan. Hacksaw Ridge, I love Mel Gibson. I'm so happy that he won for Braveheart, and I'm happy that he's back. I wouldn't complain if he won, but I don't think he will. Barry Jenkins, I think he's closer to winning than anyone else besides Damien Chazelle. I think Damien Chazelle is going to win it, which I would have preferred that he win for Whiplash because I felt like he did a better job with Whiplash. But La La Land is like slightly less in my eyes, so I think it's Damien Chazelle's to lose, but if it's not him, it's going to be Barry Jenkins.
I disagree. I think that if it's not going to be Damien Chazelle, and heck, I'd say that it's a two-horse race between Damien Chazelle and Denis Villeneuve, because Arrival was incredibly well directed, and this is, I think, Denis Villeneuve's best directed movie. Not his best movie, but his best directed movie. And I think Arrival definitely is going up for Best Director. It has a shot. I am a little surprised that the Academy was able to forgive Mel Gibson this soon, because I did not predict Mel Gibson for Hacksaw Ridge. I had the guy who directed Hell or High Water, but it's a pleasant surprise. I mean, the guy can direct movies very well, even though he's definitely not going to win. It's a surprise, and it shows that the Academy is willing to forgive, so that's good.
On the one hand, I want to just hand it to either Damien or Denis, but yeah, it's. I feel like the only odd man out is Kenneth Lonergan, because the actors definitely outshone the direction in the film. But oh man, this okay. I feel like if I was to do this in percentage,
Choose.
exactly, but choose wisely. I feel like there's only a literally it's a 1% chance difference between the big four. I feel like of the big four, Gibson's at the bottom, then Jenkins is just above him, then Chazelle is just above him, and I think Denis actually will win for Arrival.
Not gonna happen.
He has had such good movies, and it may also be the case like Leonardo DiCaprio. It might not be the best, but he has done really well in the past, and he didn't get the recognition then. So
yeah, but what is this? His fourth film? They're not going to do it for his fourth film.
Fourth, yes. Actually, he did some more, but like to the public, the most known are Enemy, Prisoners, Sicario, and this one.
Yeah, I think that if the I haven't seen what else is going to come out from him, but I mean, he's working on Blade Runner 2049, and he's going to have something after that, and there's going to be another one after that, and I just think that the Academy's going to be patient, as they often are, as they were with Leo. I think they were too patient with Leo, but I think they're going to be patient with Denis and wait till he turns in, his absolute, like, holy crap, this is his best film, and I think they're going to be like, yes, give it to him now. And that will be the point where they're like, even if there are better films that year, that's when they'll say, yeah, but look at all these other ones that he's had. I think it's too soon for that right now, and I think they're gunning for either Damien or Barry. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Well, as I say, you could make the same argument for Damien, though. I mean, Christ, La La Land, it was his third directed film.
Yes. Yep. Here's why I would go to Damien, because he has done well in the past, and La La Land was a really well-directed film, and it's in everyone's eye. It's the popular one. Here's why it would go to Barry Jenkins, because of the performances. So you don't get those performances without Barry Jenkins, and you don't get the beauty and the whatever Hollywoodness that Hollywood so loves if it weren't for Damien Chazelle. So it's between them two. Denis has the outside shot, but no, just no. But we shall see. Kees will be making me eat my words.
We'll see.
Hope so.
And with that, we finally come to the last big category, which is the Best Picture of 2016. So, holy crap, 9 films. We couldn't get a 10th one in there, which, after I read the nominations, I want to hear what your guys' 10th film would have been. So the nominees are Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight.
I know what Kees' 10th one is, and it's some bullshit.
I just would have loved Deadpool to get that 10th nomination, but that's biased, and it was never that big of a shot anyway, so I accept it. I understand it. I was wrong, though, that Silence wasn't gonna get nominated. I thought Silence was, and instead Hacksaw Ridge got that nomination, which is not that surprising, but I would have liked Silence, to be honest. I think, Scorsese just delivers usually. That's it.
For me, I was surprised to see Lion again. Freaking Lion. I haven't seen it, and like honestly, the amount of nominations that it has is making me hate it more instead of trying to go see it. Like I just don't understand why this is like I thought it was gonna be Silence and or Jackie on there. But for my 10th one, if I had to choose, I'm ready for if they're not gonna accept comic book films like Deadpool or whatever, Deadpool, whatever. If they're not gonna accept comic book films, I'm ready for them to start accepting horror films because The Witch I feel like was one of the best movies of the year, and I think it's the best made horror film of ever. And I think that the visuals and the directing and the acting and the story and the music and just the everything was so well done that I think if the Academy would stop being so self-obsessed with always trying to promote these pompous films, which not all of these are, but if they would kind of broaden their minds a little bit, I think they could find room for, if it must be so, a Deadpool or, in my opinion, The Witch. But I think that Moonlight's going to win this. If it doesn't, it's going to be La La Land. But I think it's going to be Moonlight just because of its. I'm trying to think of like how,
It's
like what the word I'm
importance.
looking for. Thank you. Its importance, yes. As far as yeah, so.
Oh, that's totally fair. Yeah, I do see La La Land taking it home. Otherwise, if it doesn't, I think then it will go to either Moonlight or Hidden Figures because of, again, the importance of the Academy really trying to go out of its way to not look racist right now.
Yeah, that is a big thing, and the Academy does like to react to certain things that happened last year. So last year with the Oscar so white thing, they might
And
just
the year before that too. I mean, they've been under fire for a while, which my only thing is I just hope that they don't like overreact. Not that I would complain if Moonlight wins, but it's just like I hope that they're careful to really make sure that it is the best picture and they're not doing a stupid Shakespeare in Love or whatever and just like, oh, again, they just want to be like so, amazing and we're the Academy. We do the cool, not even the cool thing, just the pompous, refined thing. We're smarter than you, so we choose Shakespeare in Love instead of that bloody film. It's like fucking Saving Private Ryan. I mean, come on, man. Like, so Moonlight, I get that, but Hidden Figures, I haven't seen it, but I just feel like I don't see based off of what I know of it how it could be better than Moonlight or La La Land. So I think the safe choice is Moonlight. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, go ahead. You're good. If I had to pick a 10th, and again, you want to go on the importance angle, Zootopia. That would have been my 10th.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate that.
Plus, again, not nearly enough animated films get nominated for Best Picture. It's stupid how many films have been nominated for Best Picture, because I can count them on one hand.
Yeah.
It's pathetic, frankly speaking.
Yeah, and honestly, I was incredibly upset last year that Inside Out didn't get nominated. That was just
that hurt my heart.
That's the capacity in Academy Award land. It's like you get such an original, good movie, and you don't nominate it. Well, you then.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like it may not even win. It doesn't need to win, but at least show some love.
Right?
Yeah, same thing. Same thing with The Witch.
Exactly. I'm not asking for a goddamn win for a best picture for an animated film because no offense, Zootopia, Moana, or even Kubo, as much as I love those films, they would not have been worth it in terms of over La La Land or even, God forbid, Hell or High Water in terms of Best Picture winner. Now let's be fair here. Sorry, okay. I'm holding myself back. I already had my rant time. I'm done. But
hey, that's rant worthy though.
It is. It's very, because animation is obviously a very big deal to me because it's what I grew up with. I mean, Christ, my favorite TV show of all time is an animated cartoon show. That's way more adult than most of the shit you see on TV today. Avatar: The Last Airbender, just in case.
Yeah,
By the way,
and
mine also is an animated show, but a little bit more adult than most of the animated shows because it's South Park.
But that's because it's clever and smart. And while I'm not the
Yeah.
biggest fan of it anymore, I used to be, but not so much anymore, it's still brilliant.
right.
Yeah.
And I think I think that the Academy could benefit from realizing more often than just 4 times in the entire history of the Academy that good storytelling can come in animated form, and it so often does. And same thing with horror, and same thing with comic book films. Like, you can have a good film that isn't, a dramatic, sad story that tugs at your heartstrings. You can get all that in a movie like Inside Out, and you can get
I did.
shit
I
ton of
cried.
drama. Yeah, you can get a ton of drama in a movie like The Witch, and you can get very snappy, well done filmmaking like you do get in Deadpool. Even if I don't necessarily think it should be nominated, I can see the argument. As much as I give Case a hard time, I wouldn't complain, and I would appreciate that they're taking steps in the right direction to a movie like The Dark Knight and stuff like that, getting more recognition. So it's like, I think that the Academy, while they're doing the best that they can, their best isn't good enough for me.
Yeah, and especially if you look at comic book movies, we've had really bad ones, but we've also had really good ones. And really, the first time that there was a little bit of backlash with that was with The Dark Knight in 2008. Like, that was an extremely good movie, but only 5 Best Picture nominees. So no Dark Knight for Best Picture, even though it got 8 other Oscar nominations and 2 wins.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, come on, can we just, when we finally get such a movie that is a comic book movie, but it's also a very good movie, like a Deadpool, can we just nominate that thing in the 10th spot? It's not going to win. We all know it's not going to win, but I don't care. I just want one nomination so we can recognize there are good movies out there that are not your typical drama.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, and by the way, do any of us honestly see La La Land do a clean sweep of the Big Five?
It's possible, but I think the chances are slim just because of Casey Affleck. And
I think it's hard. I think it's got a lock on screenplay and on actress, and other than that, it's not getting actor, and it might not get director.
yeah, so but it's definitely going to win something. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
It's going to win
win
something.
a lot. I mean, if you got 14 nominations, you better win something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you better win at least something. Yes, very much so. All right, well, that's pretty much our reaction to the Oscar nominations. I want to thank the panel. Case, where can the good people on the interwebs find you?
I am the Dutch Movie Guy on YouTube and at Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter.
All right, and Ryan, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Clan McLellan. That's Clan McLellan.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at my band Last Shot Redemption at LSARBandMN. This has been the Take 3 podcast, and we'll see you at the next one. Take care.